If you're a fan of Gordon Ramsay, then you'll probably recall this dish from Hell's Kitchen, herb crusted lamb. I've been wanting to try this recipe for a while now, and I finally see why it was so popular on the show. It's delicious. A blend of fresh herbs paired with Dijon Mustard's sharp taste really is a great combination. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. To start things off, we're going to take out our rack of lamb. This thing weighs almost 2 pounds, which is the perfect size for 2 people. I do want to trim this up a little bit. My butcher took off most of the fat cap, but I want to expose the bones a little bit by doing something called Frenching. Essentially just trimming off some of this extra fat from the shanks. This can be a little bit of a tedious process, but it's pretty simple. I'm just using a paring knife to get rid of some of that unwanted fat. And here we are, all cleaned up and ready to season with salt and pepper. I'm using molten salt for mine since it's larger and a little bit more coarse than just regular salt. Then add some freshly cracked pepper. I like to rub it in a little bit, making sure to cover the entire rack, even the parts I know I'm not going to eat. This is going to help us develop a nice crust when we sear it. I'll add a little olive oil to my pan, let it come to temp, and I'm going to start by rendering that top cap. I'll just hold it here for a minute or so until it develops some nice color, then flip it on its backside to do the same thing. I'll do the same thing for the ends as well. Tongs really help out here, as the bones tend to heat up pretty quickly, as you'll find out. By doing this, we're locking in all that flavor. After a few minutes, I'll add a little butter, followed by fresh thyme and a head of garlic. Then I'll flip the rack back over and use the herbs and garlic as a trivet. After you have some nice color on all sides, remove the pan and we're going to brush on some Dijon mustard. This is going to do 2 things for us. Allow the herb crust to better adhere to the lamb, and also provide some great contrasting flavor. Don't be too stingy with this stuff, give it a nice coat all over, making sure to also hit the sides and the bottom. We're just painting at this point, with a beautiful rack of lamb as our canvas. Let that mustard thoroughly absorb into the meat. And we'll quickly hop over here to make our herb crust. So in a food processor, combine 3/4 cup basil, a 1/2 cup parsley, 3/4 cup Parmesan cheese, 1½ tablespoons of salt, then 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Give that a good blend until everything is evenly combined and mulched. That's looking good. Then we'll just dump all of this out onto a plate. I really like the color of this stuff for some reason. It's just pretty. By the way, I've actually used this crust for other things like chicken and fish, and it's just a great way to elevate a dish. Go ahead and take your rack of lamb and just dab it in the mixture, once again making sure we apply to all sides, top, bottom. I'll sprinkle some on the backside. Go ahead and transfer the rack back to the pan, and then we'll just pop this in the oven that's been preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Cooking time will of course vary depending on the size of your rack, but generally it takes about 5 to 8 minutes. I do find it's easiest to use a meat thermometer here. For medium rare, you'll want to take it out once it reaches an internal temperature of about 135 degrees. Take it out and let rest before slicing. Now my favorite part. We'll slice this down the middle to see how we did. And it's exactly how I like it. Lamb goes great with just about anything, but I'm going to have mine with some pureed garlic potatoes and carrots. I did also make a quick lamb sauce, which is pretty much just a red wine reduction using the cooked bits in the bottom of the pan, but totally optional. And that's pretty much it. Pretty simple recipe. As always, ingredients will be in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.